I'm Judge Faith Jenkins, and this is Divorce Court. All kinds of couples with problems come to me for advice.
Can I be in a relationship with someone that I really don't trust? Trust is lost in buckets and gained in drops.
Others need a lighter touch.
It's only been 3 years. You've been back together 7 hours and 12 minutes. I hope you can make it to dinner.
But most people just need some of my tough love.
You're problematic on many levels. You know nothing about commitment, monogamy, integrity, and loyalty.
Now, join me in Divorce Court for today's case.
What happens when past baggage follows you into your next relationship and increases your insecurities? This couple hopes to hear wedding bells, but the outside noise may be too much for them to handle. That's today's case on Divorce Court.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, as you know, we have a virtual audience and it's filled with your superfans. Today's superfan of the day is Candace from Yelm, Washington.
Candace, welcome to Divorce Court. We're so happy to have you with us.
Your Honor, this is the case of Hall versus Bradley.
Thank you, Juan. Mr. Troy Hall.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have brought your fiancée, Miss Victoria Bradley.
Yes, Your Honor.
To Divorce Court today. The two of you are engaged, but there have been a number of problems in the relationship. You're trying to decide whether you should move forward or call it quits. And you say, sir, you're here to prove yourself today.
Yes.
Okay, I'll start with you. Why don't you tell me what's going on?
Well, I brought Victoria here today because she's insecure. She says I cheat, and she says she don't trust me a lot. So I'm here today to prove her that I am worth what I say I am to her.
What do you have to say about that, Miss Bradley?
I do believe that Troy is a liar. I do believe that he has cheated on me. I do have proof that he does not do what he says he's gonna do. Like, he may say one thing and do another, like I'm going somewhere and end up somewhere else. So I'm just kind of over it.
Okay, Mr. Hall, what do you say is happening? Because you said there are some major trust issues, but you haven't done anything wrong, according to you. Give me some examples of what you say has happened.
Well, she thinks I cheat on her with my baby mothers or whatever. And most of the time, I just communicate with them just to see my children and try to pick up my children and schedule a time and date to pick them up.
Okay.
Well, when the calls come in, when I get the calls, she always thinks it's something else other than that, which I just keep it based on my child, and I let her know this. And I even, talk to them in front of her when I get a chance, if they call.
Right. Okay, Ms. Bradley, what do you have to say about that?
Well,
do you trust him with the mothers of his children?
No, I don't. Mainly because there have been a couple of altercations, or conversations rather, where one has told me that she's not gonna stop dealing with him, and there's another one who just won't go away. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if she's not going away because she doesn't want to, or if she's not going away because he's entertaining her behind my back.
But they're telling you that.
Yeah.
He's not saying that.
Yeah, he's telling me that he has no dealings with them, but she does not call.
But that's not his fault, right?
I mean, I have children of my own, so yes, I feel like that is partly his fault.
There
has to be some kind of communication and some sort of understanding on both sides. Like, why is she calling back to back? Like, she'll call 10 or 15 times.
How many women are we talking about?
You want me to tell her, or you want to tell her?
9 baby mothers.
9?
Yes. Yeah.
9?
Yes.
How many children do you have?
11.
Wow. Okay. So we need to call Jan Levanzan. That's a lot of phone calls.
It is a lot. And I don't know if he realized how much I endure and how much.
Well, I don't think he's cheating. I think he's tired.
She think that I cheated on her on my birthday last year. Last year I had a birthday party, and I invited her to come. Before that, we had an argument, and the next following day, we weren't on the same terms we were before. We was in a mess. So I still invited her to come with me to my birthday party.
No, he didn't.
She did not come.
Why do you say he didn't invite you?
What he said to me was, it's my birthday, I'm gonna be out with my guys, with my boys, and we're gonna get a booth, and I don't want my wife sitting in a booth in a club with a whole bunch of my friends.
Okay.
Then we got into an argument, and I had already made up my mind that I wasn't going anyway. We made up maybe about a week or two later, and I said, I think this would be a good time for me to go through your phone. I didn't see him on his birthday. He actually did call me. I take the back.
What makes something a good time to go through your partner's phone?
Well, because we had broken up, and the fact that he said that I couldn't come to his birthday party because It was going to be a lot of guys there, but
that's okay. But that's not a big deal, right?
Yeah,
because
any
sometimes
time is always a good time.
You say you say that you invited her.
Yes.
But then you say that no, because he wanted to spend that time with his friends, and that leads you to do a search.
The reason I went through his phone is because the night of his birthday, he called me maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I did not see him that night.
Okay.
And I did not hear from him the next day.
But you said it's escalated because of what's happening on social media.
She hates the radio station I deal with and work with because she seems to think I cheat, reach out to women and all sorts of stuff.
He does.
So I told her in the beginning, I said, babe, this is what happens when you're in the social media work with this radio stuff. You gotta reach out and you gotta be friendly.
Are you're a DJ?
No, I'm a radio personality.
Okay.
He does podcasts, and the reason that I have an issue with the people he's reaching out to.
He doesn't. So does he work on radio or
he
not?
He works on a podcast with a friend.
Okay. You call it radio. You call it podcast.
I work on a radio station.
Not the same thing.
No, it's not. Podcast is something you do at home with a camera.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. It's not the same thing.
Absolutely.
So
we do radio. We do radio in the studio.
You're a witness for Mr. Bradley. Would you like to step over to that?
I'm gonna step over here right now.
That's my lawyer.
We do radio, Yana. We do radio in the studio.
Sir, Mr. Hall, I just want to be clear. You're on a radio station. What radio station are you on?
It's the Marty A. Johnson Show.
Okay, and so you're saying that because you work on this radio station, you reach out to people as guests to come on the station?
Yes, I have the messages, matter of fact.
Your Honor, I have evidence of messages where I wouldn't necessarily consider it professional, you know, and 9 times out of 10, the people who he invite to come on his podcast show, they're females, heavy-chested, you know, really big in the back, or pretty faces.
Thousands of questions, Your Honor,
I asked him, you know, I'm just out of curiosity. I said, why do you guys not ever invite guys to come to your show? And he's like, oh, because they're difficult to deal with.
Okay.
Like, are we professional or not?
Your Honor, you got to
Let me see the messages. Your super sexy self, where are you in LA? This person responds, LOL, thanks. You say, LOL, my pleasure. Now, Mr. Hall, I'm not an expert in radio, but I noticed you commented on her looks. The last time I checked, that doesn't matter when you're just going on the radio, right, sir?
Right.
Okay, just wanted to clear that up. I understand you put a GPS tracker on his phone.
I did. I turned the GPS tracker on my phone, and guess where he was? At his baby mama's house.
She knew I had lots of baggage, Yana. She knew what I came to the table with.
Of course, I knew you had baggage, but you also made it clear that you had your baggage in the bag.
You said that Ms. Bradley is constantly asking you questions and calling you nonstop. Tell me about that.
Getting with Victoria, we was together, everything was smooth. Then I started going back to doing more work, getting out the house, doing more for myself. We established. And no matter when I go places or how long I stay places, she always called me, you know, within a certain 10, 15-minute frame.
To see where you are?
Yeah, because I'm with her day and night. So for me to leave you and then you call me back to back and within 10, 15 minutes when I'm going to the grocery store or going to pick up my child or doing anything.
Really?
You already know where I'm going and what I'm doing, so...
So you say she'll call and text you 20 times in less than a half hour?
She'll call me back to back until I answer the phone, first of all.
Okay.
And that's what happens.
Let me see your evidence of the call log. Wow.
Yeah, you see that? You see?
The calls start at 9:22, and they go every minute.
Back to back.
All the way through 9:45. So, when you see he's not answering your call, at some point, do you not say, I will wait for him to call me back?
Okay, yeah, I get it. But the reason why is because he will say things like, I'm going to the store and I'll be right back, right? And the closest store is maybe 5 minutes from our house, so he can go there and come back within 15 minutes.
Okay.
Troy will leave and be gone.
Let's think about that. So 15 minutes.
Right.
It takes him 5 minutes to get to the store.
5 minutes
to get home. So you're only giving him 5 minutes to shop.
Yes, because he's not like shopping. He will be going to get cigarettes.
How am I going to shop,
So there could not be a line?
No. To be honest, I just think that he might be cheating with the girl at the store.
He can't browse at the store? He can't even browse?
I can't look around.
Well, why are you browsing at a corner store to go get cigarettes? What are you browsing for?
Okay, so I understand you put a GPS tracker on his phone.
I did. Well, actually, I put a GPS in his car. And the reason was because his store runs. Every time he goes somewhere, I don't care if he says he's going somewhere that takes an hour to get there and an hour to get back, it's gonna take him 3 hours. So this time in particular, we left our house at the same time. He was going to see a friend and I was going to see a friend, and we were supposed to meet in an hour so that he could wash my car. An hour went by and I did not hear from him. So I turned the GPS tracker on my phone, and guess where he was? At his baby mama's house.
No, I wasn't.
What was he doing? Oh, I was sitting in the parking lot talking to a friend.
She said,
did you know she had a tracker on in your car?
Yeah,
I did not know.
Of course not.
So you got a secret tracker. You're calling him 20 times in 20 minutes.
Yes.
You think that he may be secretly seeing one of his children's mothers?
Or anyone. It could be anyone at this
She
point.
made my baby mother's mad by answering the phone.
Why? Because they call me and tell me that I've been sleeping with your boyfriend.
Okay, so let me just back up for a second. This is not our first rodeo. We've been in this courtroom for a minute.
Right.
Just because one of them calls and says that does not make it true and does not mean you should credit anything that they're saying. So the real question is, no matter what they say, do you trust him?
No.
And the answer is obviously you don't.
I don't.
Not healthy, not good.
No. Not only that, I mean,
either one
the
of
baby
you.
mom has been to my house. She's brought the police to my house at 3 o'clock
She
in the
knew
morning.
I had lots of baggage, Yana. She knew what I came to the table with.
Of course, I knew you had baggage, but you also made it clear that you had your baggage in the bag. He's not bringing money into the house right now, but my dog's bringing almost $10,000 in a year.
Baby, it's only been 1 litter, and you just had the dogs for 4 months.
Okay, but she's getting ready to bring. She's pregnant now, like
anything
literally
happened
due
to the
any
dog.
day.
All right.
I'm tired of taking care of the dogs.
He does not like my dogs. My point is, she brings money into our household. What are you bringing?
If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Miss the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content. You are adamant that there's nothing going on between you and any of your exes.
Nothing going on, Yana.
But you have some other issues with her. You said she's too untrustworthy.
Yes.
And you feel like she's putting you on a ball and chain in terms of tracking you. And what else do you say is happening? You said there's some laziness going on.
Yeah, I mean, that too. You know,
well, tell me about it.
She's lazy to the point where I do a lot. I mean, I do a lot because that's who I am, right? I get up early because I try to start my tasks in the daytime and get them finished early so I can have nighttime, you know, to spend time with her, especially for her. And she just be in the morning laying around moping, you know, she don't get up. She says she's not a morning person, so I can respect it. But baby, we got stuff to do. I need you to get up. You know what I'm saying? I need you to help me get this day started. We are a team, right?
Ma'am? I mean, you said here she doesn't cook or clean.
When Troy first moved into my house, I was working. I'm not working right now. I was working a full-time job, 7 to 3 in the morning. He would be at my house from the time I leave to go to work to the time I come home. He does not
Waiting
cook.
on her.
He does not clean. Yeah, that's
Being
it.
there for her.
Waiting on me. He does not
Doing
cook.
what she
He does
say
not
do.
clean. So when I came home from work, I would be tired. You know
Dishes
what I'm saying?
in the sink still.
But I felt like at the time he wasn't working. So why are there dishes in the sink?
Who submitted photos of the dishes?
That's my photo, Your Honor.
And you know what? Can I explain this photo, please? I took my children to Myrtle Beach for a week. And those dishes were in the sink when I left. And when I came back, those dishes were still in the sink. Who was home with Mr. Hall all
Who
week?
left the dishes in the first place?
Right,
And
but
we
why
all
would you
have
sit in the house
But we
with
all have a
dishes just sitting in the
responsibility.
sink?
We all have a responsibility in the house to take turns and help out.
Right.
It was
Take
it was
turns,
it was
help
time
out.
for
So-
you. It was
Okay,
time for you.
so you don't agree right now on how you're managing the task in the household.
It's a couple of things, like he's not bringing money into the house right now. And I breed dogs. I breed Yorkies.
I'm tired of taking care
He
of the
does
dogs.
not like
Your
my
Honor.
dogs. He's not a dog person. And I get that. You know, people are very particular about pets. But my dogs bring in almost $10,000 in a year. What are you bringing? Why is it an issue for you to go walk the dogs?
Baby, it's only been 1 litter, and you just had the dogs for 4 months.
Okay, but she's getting ready to bring. She's pregnant now, like
Anything
literally
happened
due
to the
any
dog?
day.
All right.
My point is, she brings money into our household. So if she's bringing money into the house, then respect it.
Prior to the pandemic, was he contributing to the household?
No.
I was working.
So you're saying that's not true? You
No,
have been
no,
contributing?
that is
I have
not
been
true.
contributing.
That is
Okay,
not
so
true.
you don't agree on anything. You don't agree
you know
on
how
anything.
many bags and receipts
What
I
do you?
bring in every day to
Let
the
me
house
ask you
from-
something. Let me ask you something. You're saying you're here to prove yourself.
That I'm a good man for her.
Well, I don't think that's the case, because you may be a good man, but you're saying you're a good man for her. No, and I don't think that you are right now matching his level of compatibility either.
Can I?
Because I'm going to tell you something. A relationship is only as healthy as the two people who are in it. And as much as you've tracked him and looked through his phone and looked through his messages, you haven't found anything. If you were gonna find something, you would have found it, Ms. Bradley. You say you're not working right now, you should apply to be a part of CSI. Crime scene and investigator.
That's what I tell all the time.
That could be your.
Get off my back. Be an investigator and get off my back. Go do that.
Yeah, but here's where we are. You just don't trust him.
Yeah.
He goes to the store for 15 minutes. He has no grace period whatsoever.
No.
And you called him 20 times in 20 minutes.
Every day.
It's not healthy, Ms.
I know
Bradley.
that.
Dead.
And I'm
healthy.
trying to let him
For
know.
either of you. He cannot change the fact that he has all these children with all of his exes.
I understand that.
And if you get upset every single time one of them calls you about something, you'll be upset every day for the rest of your life.
I know that.
Now, Mr. Hall, she does not trust you. I do not think there is anything you can do, sir, to prove your trust to her, because it has to be a decision.
Right.
A decision that she has to make. It's not happening. And it's also unfair to you, no matter what your history is. I haven't heard anything that you've cheated with all of these different women. You just have a lot of children. But for some people, that in and of itself means you haven't been consistent in your relationships because you've hopped around a lot. And that is where she is. No one wants to get 20 calls in 20 minutes. I don't blame you for not answering. And I'm gonna tell you something. The more you loosen your grip and you're able to loosen your grip and just enjoy your life in your relationships, the more at peace you'll be, because that's what you want. You want peace in your relationships. You want peace in your home. The last thing in the world you want to do is move forward in a marriage when you haven't established the foundation of trust and peace. So, stay single until you're actually able to find someone who complements your life and adds to it. That's what you got to do. Because for whatever reason, you're triggering a lot of things. And she has become Inspector Gadget because she is determined to catch you doing something. It's not a way for either one of you to live. So you have to find someone who's going to embrace your past and be okay with it and doesn't use it as a weapon against you. And you obviously can't be happy with someone who has such a complicated past because you have not been able to get past it. You have not been able to embrace it. So make your life easier for yourself and find someone who you believe complements you and what you want. Good luck to both of you.
From the advice she gave me today, I think that we do need to take a break, relax, since we both can't calm down about our situations we got amongst each other right now, especially with my baby mothers.
Like she said, his baby mamas are not gonna go anywhere. I cannot make them stop calling. So either I accept it or I just need to step away.
I'm just planning on just being a great dad, reflect on these situations me and Vicky have, so in my next relationship, or if I even get into one, I know what to look for.
When we get home,
We separated.
well, his stuff is already packed up, so.
It's already packed up.
You know.
I'm always at home, but I can't come
You
home.
can come get your stuff.
And go where?
Wherever you want, go to your baby mama house.